First, I want to welcome everybody to our second meeting. Thanks for coming. And we're going to spend a little bit, very little bit of time talking about what's happened over the last 6 weeks. A lot of events have happened, and we want to show our support to the people that help them make them happen. First, we're going to welcome you, which I already did. We're going to recap the first 6 weeks. We're going to announce upcoming and ongoing events. We're going to introduce you to the Volunteer of the Month, Miss October. And we're going to introduce our fabulous panel, and then we're going to say farewell and start the panel. So the first event, Elietta Cho, raise your hand. Elietta brought this idea to us to go do the diabetes walk, and we did it. And we had 20 people, and those of you who are here, raise your hand. I know people are here that did it with me. We raised $1,445, which is awesome. And we had a good time. And then we went for a great vegan meal to Native Foods, which is awesome. Highly recommended in Culver City. It's also in like other places. Amazing. Okay.
Okay, so these are just some events that the community outreach group has done.
Are Laura or Kelly here? Kelly, raise your hand.
Yay!
Kelly, they're the new chair people for the event.
So if you want to get involved more with community outreach, they are part of our emails, but also if you want to talk to them specifically, if you have a great idea, you can email or talk to them directly. So these are just a few events that they've done the past 6 weeks. The
24th Street Garden is a garden that produces food for an elementary school. They need help constantly with the garden. Get Going, Get Moving is at the Farmers Market in East LA, doing cooking demonstrations and farmers market type stuff, and then the Bella's Farmers Market. And Bella is a local volunteer organization in the East LA, and they want us to get more involved. So community outreach desperately needs people to help out. So if you have any interest in doing that, let either us or Kelly know.
All right, this past month, in October, we had our first food drive. We were able to collect 96 pounds and get $96 worth of donations. I just wanted to say thank you for all those that came out on an early Saturday morning. And we hope to have another one late January, early February.
But we are having one.
Well, we are having one that's correlated with Cal State LA. It's with Epic Center here on campus. So it's both a toy drive and a food drive.
That's why that box is standing right there. And it's going to be in the nutrition office.
All right, so these are pictures from Food Day. I want to thank everyone that came out, participated, volunteered. The event was a huge success. I'm incredibly proud of each and every one of you guys. This was our first time doing this event, and it turned out beautifully. And we really engaged the population here at Cal State LA. So many people were just interested in what you guys had to say regarding sustainability, alleviating hunger. So it was really remarkable to see us pull this all together. So I want to thank you guys for doing that.
And we couldn't have done it without you.
No way.
And the bulletin boards out there, there are a few in this building and one in the nutrition office area. And we just want to thank Jen for all her work and
her crew. They're amazing. And I'm very excited that in December they're going to work on the ones in here and update them, and I'm very excited.
Yes, we are changing the ones up.
Ooh! She doesn't mess around. Okay, so upcoming opportunities. Nutrition Education World Fit for Kids Field Trip. That is today. I have directions here. If you need them. So far, I think 11 people are coming with me. World Fit for Kids does after-school programs with elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools. And we're going to do a site visit today to see how their program works and how we want to get involved. Rebecca mentioned the Toy and Food Drive. Box is right here. It will be in the nutrition office during the days, and you guys can drop stuff off starting today through December 1st. National Nutrition Month is in March, and
we have Andrea here, who's one of the chairs, Danielle, and then is Gilda here?
Not yet.
No, they're not here yet. Okay, but they're chairing the event this year. So if you have any ideas, please talk to them. Also, our first meeting is this Wednesday at 11?
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock in
The student.
It's first floor of the Student Union.
Student Union.
So if you're interested in participating in National Nutrition Month, please see us at 11 this Wednesday.
Fundraising?
We're still looking for great opportunities to fundraise and earn money for our club. So if you have any ideas, please shoot me an email, and we hope to do a fundraising event soon.
I'm doing the mentor program. We have on our website other students that are interested in becoming mentors for incoming students. So if any of you have been here over a year and you're interested in the mentorship program, please email me. And I'll put your information on the website so new students can contact you.
And also, if you're a new student and you want some advice, contact people on the website. And then we have community-supported agriculture.
Woo!
You have an opportunity to make a payment for your subscription for the Cal State LA Farm Box either today after the meeting, Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or Thursday from 11 a.m. to 1:30 right outside this room. And we accept check and cash. Anyone who doesn't have an application form, please see me after the meeting. Awesome.
And it's also on the website, along with everything else. There are also some updates. There's recipes, volunteer experiences, and the holiday party, which will be November 21st. And there's also going to be a cooking contest, which we'll go over briefly.
All right, so for the holiday party, it's going to be in this room at noon on November 21st. We're having a cooking contest. I'd like to introduce Erica Julesen. Can you stand? Okay, babe, stand. Erica's going to be in charge of the cooking contest aspect. She has all the rules for the cooking contest, but briefly, it's any squash, so pumpkin, zucchini, etc. It has to be the featured ingredient. We are encouraging healthy recipes, so no like 4 sticks of butter, please. And we are going to have some celebrity guest judges who we won't reveal to you now. But they will be judging the cooking contest. So aside from that, we'll be, showing pictures. It'll be more of a social hour. We'll have food. So please come out.
And Erica is here, and she has the directions on paper, so if you want to get copies of that.
Yep.
Yes, Jennifer?
So you submit your entry into the contest by the 14th? What is, I don't understand.
No, what you tell Erica what you're making, because if like 10 people go to her and say, I'm making pumpkin pie, that's not going to do great. So we're going to be, so that's the kind of thing. So she can buy the 14, and then also we have a limit. We have about 15 dishes is the limit. So if we get 25, so it's a first come first served basis.
Yeah. So send me an email or see me to get the rules. Has my email on here too. Perfect.
All right, so we wanted to introduce you to the volunteers month.
This October.
She's been very helpful. She's worked with Food Day. She came out for the food drive. She's part of the bulletin board committee, the research study, and with the nutrition education. So we'd like to recognize Crystal.
Yay!
Have a little something for you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
And she did that all in 6 weeks, guys. Isn't that impressive?
Yeah, I don't know how she studies.
So we'd like to introduce our panel. Our first person is Dr. Jen Bezian. Our second person is Miss Louina, Professor Louina Luke. And then next is Elizabeth Garaldo. And then Nancy Jaffe, who's still here, and also Kenneth Lee.
Oh, okay. You can see me if you haven't joined the SDA yet. I'll be sitting outside, and also the members who have joined, I have receipts for you as well. So if you're interested in picking them up, please see me after the meeting. And I will also be selling t-shirts.
That's it.
Perfect.
So thanks a lot, and we'll start. So what we're going to do is, if you have a question, hopefully you do, raise your hand, and we'll call on you, and then we'll ask you to stand and direct your question so that everybody can hear you.
But first off, we're actually interested if each panelist could just say a couple sentences about your experience, what you're in charge of, just to give the audience a much better idea of what you guys are involved with. So we'll start with Dr. Jen.
Yeah, I'm Dr. Gervasian. I'm the director of the coordinated program. I work with students every year that are in the coordinated program, whether they're undergraduate or graduate. We accept about 25 every year, and so we hope that all of you are considering, applying this year. Applications will be available early December. And so your questions, I'll be ready for when you're ready.
And I'm Luina Luke, Director of the Dietetic program here, and I work with students in the process of looking for internships. So I do assistance in what to do about applying to internships, where to look, information about the internship program. So I handle that and issue forms in which you need for application to the internship program, and I answer any other student questions that you do stop by and see me. So I try to answer as many questions as possible.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Gallardo. I'm a registered dietitian. SDA invited me to talk about my experience at the University of Puerto Rico, where I did my dietetic internship. Really quick, the program was in Spanish, so if any of you who speak Spanish already and are interested, I'm open for questions. I also brought a binder and has some photos of some of the stuff that I did in Puerto Rico, also educational handouts, and I have information on the admissions and the website, so that if you're interested, you can apply. So let me know if you have any questions.
So I'm Nancy Jaffe. I'm a graduate student at Cal State LA. I'm in my first year of the master's program, and I'm also in the CDP for 2012. And as you might know, the CDP gives you your internships that you get to do during the year, the 1,200 hours that you have to complete in order to become a dietitian. And my specialty, my area of interest is celiac disease. And coming into the program knowing that, I knew that I wanted my elective rotation to be geared towards celiac disease, if that was at all possible. Through the help of Dr. Jambazian and Professor Pacheco, I was able to schedule my elective rotation at UCLA's celiac clinic. So that's what I'll be doing, and that's what I'm here to answer questions about how you can create your own internship, even in the midst of a program that already has internships created for you.
Hi, my name is Kenneth. I get accepted to the DPD program from Utah State University. It is a distant internship, and maybe it is kind of new to you guys. What is it about? It is about the distant internship. So I'm here to answer questions about distant internship, and also I apply other regular programs in the DPD program. So I'm welcome for any questions about the applications, also my internship programs. I'm ready for questions.
Okay, perfect. So how this is going to work is you're going to raise your hand, and then Michelle or I will call on you, and then you stand and address whichever panelist you're addressing your question to, so that everyone else can hear. So we're now open.
And you speak loudly.
I just want to ask about the CDP. So I'm just like junior, so can I apply this year?
As long as all of your prerequisites will be completed by the end of the coming up summer. So you still have you have 6 more months to complete all of your prerequisites. You can apply to CDP in December this year. Because if you get accepted into CDP, you'll be starting next fall. So you have to have all your prerequisites done before you start in fall. And the prerequisites are the biology, the chemistry, the biochem, all those courses that you have to take before you take other courses.
Are these prerequisites on the website?
Yes, they are, or any one of us can take. They're the same prerequisites for the program.
And if I, for example, didn't get accepted, I can apply this year?
Yes, you can apply as many times as you like, but every time you apply, we will need a fresh application, new transcripts, new letters of recommendation, the whole bit. We cannot go into your old files. We have to keep those alone. We have to leave them alone for when ADA comes in and audits us. So you have to give us all brand new everything. So I would suggest every time you ask for transcripts, get a couple of copies, because we need original transcripts that have been unopened. Okay. You're welcome.
Brittany?
Yeah, I was wondering who can the recommendations be from?
Recommendation letters can be from former professors as long as they're not from nutrition or from food science and technology. And they can be from anybody else on campus. It can't be anybody in nutrition or food science because we're the ones that go through all your applications. We don't want to read our letters. So it can be from employers, If you've done any volunteer work, especially with dietitians, and you can have a glowing letter from one of them, that would be excellent. So anything like that. Letters of recommendation are actually really important. A good, strong letter will really mean a lot.
Kristen?
I actually have two questions, if that's okay. My first one is, when you're doing your internship, this could be like for anybody that wants to answer, when you're doing your internship, do you think that it is really possible at all to have a job?
You mean get a job from the internship?
No, I mean like work while doing the internship.
I'm at Cedars-Sinai right now, so I'm in my internship, I'm at my clinical rotation of the internship for the CDP program. I work 1 day a week, I'm in school all day Mondays, and I'm interning 3 days a week, and I'm doing just fine.
Okay.
So it is possible. It's a lot of work, but if you're really dedicated to what you're doing, it's a pleasure, and it can happen. So,
Okay.
I wouldn't recommend a full-time job.
No, no, I'm not thinking that. And then my other question would be, I know that you mentioned, I think, 1,200 hours to take the RD. Is it sometimes different for different internship programs? Because I know a girl that's doing a distance learning, and she said her program requires 2,000. Do you know anything about that?
The minimum is 1,200 hours that is required, but it's also dependent on their accreditation process with ADA.
Okay.
So right now, the minimum is 1,200, so it's dependent on the program.
Okay.
I wanted to mention that for my internship, it was not possible to work. Some of the rotations, like during the day would probably be 7 to 10 hours, and then you have a lot of assignments after that that get to turn in the next day. So for my internship, you could not have a job,
So it's
really.
kind of dependent.
Yeah, it just depends on the rotation.
Yeah,
I think you'll find in a didactic internship, if you have to find your own, it's usually 5 days a week, and it's like a job. CDP is 3 days a week, but you will have a lot of homework.
So it really depends also if it's like a part-time program, full-time program. Full-time programs are full force at 40 hours a week, so if you have any time left over, it might be 4 assignments for that internship program.
Especially in my program, it's a 7-month program. It's a shorter program, so we need to work at the preceptors or the sites 40 hours per week, plus online classes, plus assignments. So it just depends on how you handle your work. If you handle your schedule very well, then I think it's okay to have a part-time job. But my program strongly not recommend us to have a part-time job because it's gonna be very painful. So,
Okay.
yeah, so it depends on different programs.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Oh, Jessica. This is for Ms. Gallardo. How did you, if you weren't working during your distant internship in Puerto Rico, how did you fund it?
It was not distant. I actually went to Puerto Rico and I lived there for a year. The program is 11 months, so I did attend the different rotations around the island. So,
But I guess my question is more direct, like how did you afford it? Like did financial aid take care of it? Did you apply for loans? Or
I applied for loans. Financial aid in Puerto Rico did not. Well, I actually did get some financial aid, but they did not really give me a lot because I wasn't a resident. So it was mainly loans. And I can give you more details about it after if you'd like.
Sure. And then one more question. This is for the CDP program. If you're scheduled to graduate in 2013, spring of 2013 as a DPD, and say you get, I guess, accepted into CDP, how does that affect your graduation?
You have the question was, if you didn't hear, if you get accepted into CDP and you were about to graduate, let's say 2003, there's 2 ways you could go about doing it. In order to be in the CDP, you must be a student. You must be in a degree program. So you can either hold off your graduation as an undergraduate for another year, or you can graduate as an undergrad and then enter the master's program. A lot of students elect to go into the master's program because you're more marketable with a master's degree. But it depends, it might not be what you want to do, or you might want to get a degree in another area. So if you want to keep just getting an undergrad degree, just hold off your graduation for another year if you get accepted into the CDP. But we'll work with you and talk to you about it so you don't have to worry.
For those of us who are in their pre-internship phase of the program here, what can we do for volunteer or internships to help professionally and academically prepare for what we're going to encounter when we do our internship?
Okay. Well, I guess I could talk about some of the volunteer work that I did before the internship. I don't know if you have heard of Operation Frontline, and I volunteered with them. I was a nutrition instructor, and we would have classes. It was nutrition education with cooking, and we would teach adults about healthy cooking, and we would also give them like a grocery bag so that they could practice at home and make that meal for the family. I did that. I also the volunteer hours that this food service class required, that counted as well. I volunteered at Project Angel Food. I also volunteered with Ask the Dietitian program, and I still do that now. I like the program. So those are different things that you can do.
And I'm a big fan of if you have an idea of what you might want to specialize in, even if it's really broad, even if it's obesity, even if it's diabetes, whatever it might be, if you know you want to work with kids, if you know you want to work with pregnancy, if you know that you want to work with the elderly, is trying to find people in the community who are doing what you think you might want to do and shoot them an email. Because the worst that happens is you don't get a response, but the likelihood is that you will, and that they'll actually want you to come and watch them do what they do, and it's a great way to just see what you want. I know before I got into the CDP program, I interned at a hospital, and I interned at a private practice, and I interned at a community place because I didn't know what area I might want to go into, and that really helped me to hone in on my particular interests and what type of organization I wanted to be a part of.
So like what you said, if I were to do it, I would want to specialize in obesity. So would I be able to try to like look for a clinic or something? And then
depends on what population. Do you want to be working with low income? Do you want to be working with, again, children, school districts? The more you can focus it in, the easier it is to find those people who are doing what you're interested in.
Sam?
So I have a question, just a remark about what you said. I found that when I've approached hospitals, unless you're already, have an internship lined up, they don't accept you because of insurance liability.
Yeah.
So how are you able to get
nepotism? It's the best thing you can do. So your doctors, your own personal doctors, talk to them about the dietitians that they recommend or they work with. See if you can get an interview through a doctor. It's the best way to go about it. That's how I did it. I had a friend who knew a doctor who did GI. Got that introduction, was able to get into UCLA that way. So networking. Network. It's the best thing you can do as a student. Anytime, I printed up business cards before I even got into the CDP. So I have business cards I carry around with me. They just say my name, I'm a student, when I'm graduating, my email and my phone number, and I pass them out to people, and that way you've got that interaction. As soon as you get a business card, email the person, write them, let them know what you're interested in doing, and you build those networks really quickly. Because people want to help students, they really do. You just have to find your way in.
I was going to say, a great way to do that is to get involved with the SDA on all of our events. Because, Monica and I, we volunteered last year with the USC, the Diabetes Center, and we did one event for like 5 hours, and they were like, and it was, I forgot her name, but they're graduates. And they were like, hey, when you need your internship, call me and we'll get you going, when you need your elective, research. So that's what I was telling somebody else. I was telling you about it, how you're like, should I go, should I not go? You meet people all the time and they want to help you. So that's, if you don't know anybody, it's a great way to start.
Oh, I like the word you use, networking. Especially sometimes Professor Luke will send out emails about open houses for internship. I think it's important to go there and get to know those program directors. So they will have they try to get them to remember you and try to ask more questions. Then when you have internship interviews with them, they will still remember, oh, this is Kenneth, and he really wants to get into the program. So I think it's important to go to the open houses to know more about the programs. So networking is very, very important.
Yes.
This is for Dr. Denisian. What is your criteria for accepting CDP students?
Okay, the criteria for accepting CDP students is pretty broad. You have to have a GPA of at least 2.75. You have to have completed all your prerequisites or will be completed by all your prerequisites by the end of the summer before you're going to be entering the program. And then we're going to be looking at strong letters of recommendation. You need to write a 2-page letter of intent that we always read it, so make sure we get to know about you on that. And you have to have a complete application. The problem is last year we had almost 200 students applying, and we only had 20 spaces. So it's tough. It becomes, you know, who's going to get in. So I would do, if I were you, anything you can to make yourself stand out, get strong letters of recommendation. When you network, when you volunteer, that's a great opportunity to get a really good letter of recommendation. And so make sure that you do that, especially if it's from a physician or a dietitian. If a dietitian writes a letter and says, this person will be a dynamite dietitian, that makes us stop and look at that, you know, application a little bit better. So those are ways to just make yourself stand out, because if I have 200 and they're all equally excellent, how am I going to choose? And it's not just me, it's the entire nutrition faculty. So all of us go through everything. So those are the criteria, and you know, there's no easy way to tell you that, yeah, this is who gets in. I wish I could tell you that. But the stronger your application is, the better chance, I would say, it is.
Michelle?
Yeah, I have a question. So what I want to know is, what's the overall process of applying to internships? Like, where do you apply? How do you start? When do the applications come out? What's required?
I was like, so wait, so you, how to start?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about applying for internships and stuff. And since this is an internship.
Well, I'll be holding an information session about applying to internships soon. I'm just finalizing day and time and room. I go over that and the whole application process, what you need to submit to me to request forms, for letters of recommendation for individuals who are going to be writing the letters for you. I go over all that, deadlines for all the applications. With this, the application process, it occurs twice a year. There's one coming up for February 15th. That's for a spring match.
Is that when it's due, or the application comes out?
The application comes out well, it's going to be an online application that opens in December. Okay. So it's a two-step process for applying to these internships. One, you need to register to participate in ranking these internship programs. So you have to register for that, pay a fee for that. Then you need to log in and start your online application. So the good thing is that they just transitioned to an online process of applying to these programs instead of individual applications. So you just need to fill out one application, submit one set of transcripts. So that begins in December. The deadline will be February 15th. Usually it's going to be
ranking and stuff through the registration.
Yes, everything with the ranking, everything is due February 15th. Okay. Then in April is when the match occurs, and you will log in to see if you get matched. Only one match will occur. If you don't get, it's going to be either you get matched or you don't. Okay, so you won't have a choice, but you'll be ranked. Okay.
And you get matched with a program, not an internship, right? It's the program.
Internship program.
Right, but you're applying to a dietetic internship program.
Correct.
Right. You're not applying to individual internships. You're applying to a program. There's a difference. Do you understand that?
What is didactic program?
Right now, we're all, if you're not in the CDP, you're in the DPD, right? Kenneth is in a dietetic internship program. He applied through the computer system to get into a dietetic internship distance program. So he's also a student at Utah State, right? You're right? And he will do all his coursework and his internships through Utah State. he had to find his locations for his internships. He had to go find the hospital. He had to go find the community. He had to go find that stuff. But he had to apply to the university to basically sponsor, you know, to be like the person behind TED. So you apply to a program, but a lot of those programs require you, in fact most of them, all of them, to go find your internships.
No, just
distance. Just distance, that's what I mean, that's what I mean. Distance programs, right.
So,
Does that make sense?
It's just that it's some programs, they require you to be a student of their school as well. So then you'll need to apply to their school.